like us to talk about early life stress and why I feel that this topic is important, because understanding how you grew up, or maybe what even happened in your mother's womb while she was pregnant, it allows you to understand the kind of person you are as an adult. The adult you are is a massive influence of the child that you were. So early life stress is any kind of stressor that the parent experiences during pregnancy or the offspring experiences post birth. So it's the amount of stress that you experienced after you were born. The first 1,000 days is what they call it sometimes. But that time is very critical for a human being. Why? Because your brain is still forming. A lot of your systems in the body are actually completing formation, and your body and your brain is becoming adaptable to the environment of the world. So whatever stressors you get there, say for example your mom was fighting with your dad lost his job during the pregnancy of your mom, or your dad passed away, or your dad left, or your mom became a drug addict. Whatever it is that your mom may have gone through while she was carrying you in the womb, it is possible for that information, depending on the strength and the impact of it, to actually reach you in the uterus and actually change the way that the brain of the child is developing. So it's important, if you've gone through stress, for example, as a parent, if you went through stress during pregnancy, once the child is born, it's very, very encouraged that if you want to write off that kind of stress, bring the child in an environment of love and security. Now, it's possible that you may have had this kind of stress when you were young. Your mother was rejected, and when what your mother is going through is influenced into the child, that's called epigenetics. It means your genes are being changed because of the environment. And we see that once you are older, you may actually become somebody who is anxious, who has issues with learning, who is not good with relationships, who doesn't want to be social. You may even have addiction. You find that two people will start drinking at the same time. The one gets addicted, the other one doesn't get addicted. Why? Because it's also possible that you have a family line of addiction. And so when you start drinking, you activate the gene that is marked for addiction. While the other one doesn't have that kind of history, they can drink the same amount of alcohol with you, but nothing happens to them. Another person could have aggression. You could find that the way that your mother's stressor influenced you during pregnancy or even post-pregnancy, you may find that it makes you aggressive. I'll make an example. Children who were born during the World War, somewhere in Europe, it was found that those children had obesity. So why were they obese? Because when the parents were pregnant, they were not getting enough food. And when the parents were not getting enough food, the system of the fetus decided to regulate itself into saying, whatever food we receive, we are saving it. Whatever fat we have, we are saving it. And unfortunately, once the war ended, the system was not told to undo what it had already done. So these kids who were born after the World War, they were found to have more mental disorders, to be more obese, to have anxiety issues, and to have learning issues. This could be also just similar to what our country has gone through, which we called apartheid, the system of apartheid. It removed fathers from homes, it had a lot of violence, and it exposed the parents and the children to unspeakable states of living. And now you find that our country, We are trying to fix a lot of issues, but most of these issues may be a repercussion of the psychological paralysis that the community, or the black, the colored, the Indian people went through during the apartheid system. So my message to you today is that please look after your brain. Please observe your behavior. Once you know your enemy, you will be able to conquer it. But when you don't know, you cannot fix what you don't bring into the light.